Commander Lisa Wright stood at the main viewing window of the Earth Defense Station Alpha, her eyes fixed on the endless sea of stars. The year was 2157, and humanity had spread across the solar system, building colonies on Mars and mining stations near Jupiter. It was supposed to be another quiet day of routine space traffic monitoring. The alert came without warning. Red lights flashed across the command center as sensors detected an unknown object emerging from what appeared to be a tear in space itself. The massive ship that appeared near Jupiter's orbit was unlike anything humanity had ever built. "Status report," Lisa ordered, her voice steady despite the surge of adrenaline. "Unknown vessel, Commander," Officer Kevin Phillips responded from his monitoring station. It's bigger than anything we've ever seen. Nearly 3 miles long. Energy readings are off the charts." Lisa watched as the massive warship hung in space, its dark hull covered in what looked like battle scars. Its design was both beautiful and terrifying, with sweeping lines that reminded her of ancient sea creatures from Earth's oceans. "Send the first contact package," she commanded. It was standard procedure, even though her instincts told her this was no friendly visit. The package contained basic information about Earth and humanity, along with peaceful greetings in all major human languages. The response came faster than expected, but not in the way anyone had anticipated. The alien ship broadcast a message that automatically translated itself through their communication systems. "Human defenders, this is Commander Zextal of the Drachnid Empire. We claim this sector as part of our war effort against the collective of free worlds. Submit to our authority or face immediate consequences." Lisa's training kicked in. "Alert Earth Council immediately. Activate defense protocols across all colonial outposts." She turned to her communications officer. "Get me Admiral Stewart." Within minutes, Admiral Peter Stewart's hologram appeared in the command center. His gray hair and weathered face showed years of service in the Earth Defense Fleet. "Commander Wright, what's the situation?" "Sir, we have a first contact scenario, but it's not peaceful. They're calling themselves the Drachnid Empire, and they're claiming our space as part of some larger conflict." The alien ship suddenly launched what appeared to be probe-like devices toward Jupiter's orbit. The stations near Jupiter's mining colonies reported the devices were scanning everything in their path. "They're collecting tactical data," Lisa realized. "Sir, they're treating this like a military operation." Admiral Stewart's face hardened. "Commander, you have authorization to demonstrate our defensive capabilities if they approach any human settlement. I'm calling an emergency session of the Human Council." The next few hours were tense. More alien ships appeared, different ones this time. They were sleeker, with brilliant white hulls that seemed to glow. These new vessels positioned themselves at the edge of the solar system, careful to maintain their distance from both Earth forces and the Drachnid ship. The second transmission came from these new arrivals. "People of Earth, we are representatives of the collective of free worlds. The Drachnid Empire has brought their war to your doorstep. We offer our protection and alliance against their aggression." Lisa watched as the situation unfolded. Two massive alien powers, both claiming to want Earth's best interests. But their ships were armed for war. The Human Council gathered in their emergency chambers on Earth, while she maintained watch from the defense station. Late that evening, Mary Bennett, the station's chief engineer, rushed into the command center. "Commander, you need to see this. The energy readings from both alien fleets, they're not just advanced, they're impossible by our understanding of physics. These ships are operating on principles we haven't even theorized yet." As if to demonstrate this point, the Drachnid vessel suddenly performed a maneuver that should have torn any ship apart. It moved from Jupiter's orbit to Mars in less than an hour, a journey that took human ships weeks. The Human Council's decision came through as the situation grew more complex. Admiral Stewart appeared again, this time with the full authority of Earth's leadership behind him. "Commander Wright, maintain defensive positions, but do not engage either side. We're initiating diplomatic protocols. Ambassador Susan Martinez is being dispatched to your station for preliminary contact with both factions." Lisa acknowledged the order, but something caught her attention on the tactical display. The patterns of movement from both alien fleets suggested they were positioning themselves for something bigger than just claiming territory. Kevin, she called to her tactical officer, analyze the positioning of all alien vessels. Compare it to historical Earth naval battles. Kevin worked quickly, his fingers flying over the holographic controls. Commander, their formations. They're setting up for a major confrontation. Earth is right in the middle of their planned battlefield. Lisa felt a chill run down her spine. Humanity had just become the center of a war they didn't start, didn't understand, and couldn't avoid. She looked out at the stars again, now marked by the presence of alien warships. "Send everything we've observed to the Council," she ordered, "and get me direct lines to all our colonial outposts. If we're going to be in the middle of this, we need to be ready." The next day, as Ambassador Martinez's ship approached the station, Lisa received another report that made the situation even more concerning. The Drachnid ship had destroyed an automated research probe near Saturn, claiming it was a collective spy device. The collective responded by moving their fleet closer to Earth's orbital defense line. Jack Thompson, the Council's head of security, sent an urgent message. "Commander, our analysis suggests both sides are more interested in Earth itself than they're letting on. Keep Ambassador Martinez safe at all costs. The future of humanity might depend on how we handle the next few days." As Lisa prepared for the ambassador's arrival, she looked at the tactical display showing Earth caught between two alien armadas. Humanity had dreamed of first contact for centuries. But not like this. They had hoped to meet peaceful explorers or wise teachers from the stars. Instead, they got two warring powers who viewed Earth as either a strategic asset or an obstacle to be removed. The commander squared her shoulders and began preparing briefing documents for the ambassador. Whatever game these aliens were playing, humanity wouldn't be just a pawn in it. They would find their own path through this crisis, even if it meant changing the rules of a war that had probably been raging since before humans learned to write. As she worked, Lisa couldn't shake the feeling that this was just the beginning. The real question wasn't which side Earth would choose. It was whether humanity could survive being caught in the crossfire of a galactic war while finding a way to protect their independence and their future among the stars. Ambassador Susan Martinez had attended many difficult meetings in her career, but none quite like this. She sat in the newly prepared diplomatic chamber aboard Defense Station Alpha, facing two alien representatives who couldn't look more different from each other. The Drachnid diplomat, Supreme Negotiator Kralvis, was tall and imposing with scale-like skin that shimmed under the station's lights. Across the room, the collective's representative, Peace Speaker Lyra, appeared almost human-like except for her silvery skin and eyes that changed color with her emotions. Earth has maintained peace within its solar system for 50 years. Susan began, keeping her voice steady. "We want to understand why both your peoples have brought your war to our doorstep." Kralvis spoke first, his voice deep and resonating. "The Drachnid Empire offers Earth protection and advancement. Your species has potential. We can provide weapons technology that would advance your defensive capabilities by centuries, and enslave them like you've done to countless others." Lyra interrupted, her eyes flashing red. "The collective offers true partnership, Ambassador Martinez, cultural exchange, defensive technology, and free trade." From his monitoring station, Kevin Phillips watched the meeting with growing concern. Something wasn't adding up in either side's story. He turned to his superior, Commander Lisa Wright, who stood nearby. "Permission to run a deep analysis of both ships' scanning patterns, Commander." Lisa nodded. "Do it quietly, Kevin. What are you seeing?" While the diplomatic talks continued, Kevin dove into the data. Both alien fleets had been constantly scanning Earth and its colonies, but not in ways that made sense for either military or diplomatic purposes. Their scan patterns focused on very specific locations, places that seemed random at first glance. In the diplomatic chamber, Jack Thompson had joined the talks. The council member listened as both sides made their cases, each promising prosperity while warning about the other's treachery. The Drachnids speak of protection, Kraldas continued, because we understand strength. Your species has fought its way from primitive tools to space travel in a remarkably short time. We respect such determination. Lyra's skin rippled with patterns of light. The collective has watched your development as well. Your art, your music, your ability to solve problems in unique ways. These are the traits that should be nurtured, not just your capacity for war. Jack Thompson raised his hand to speak. Both of your civilizations claim to have watched us, yet neither made contact until now. Why? The question made both aliens pause, if only for a moment. Kevin noticed the subtle change in their ship's scanning patterns when Thompson asked this question. Meanwhile, in the station's engineering section, Mary Bennett was making her own discoveries. She had been analyzing the energy signatures of both alien fleets, and something strange caught her attention. Commander Wright, she called over the secure channel. Both fleets are using some kind of quantum-based communication system. But here's the weird part. They're both trying to access the same quantum frequencies, frequencies that are somehow linked to Earth's location in space. Lisa received another update, this time from the Mars colony. The Drachnid ships had been detected scanning ancient cave systems recently discovered under the Martian surface. At the same time, collective vessels were showing unusual interest in Earth's deep-sea thermal vents. Back in the diplomatic chamber, Susan Martinez noticed how both representatives kept steering the conversation toward Earth's position in space rather than its people or resources. Ambassador, Kevin's voice came through her earpiece. I found something. Both fleets are scanning for the same type of quantum energy signatures. They're not just interested in Earth. They're searching for something specific. Susan kept her face neutral as she listened to Kevin's discovery. She glanced at Jack Thompson, who gave a subtle nod. They needed more time to understand what was really happening. Both of your proposals are significant. Susan addressed the aliens. The Human Council will need time to consider them carefully. We request a 48-hour period for deliberation. Both representatives agreed, though Susan noticed their ships maintained their positions, neither side willing to give the other any tactical advantage. After the meeting, the human leaders gathered in a secure room. Kevin presented his findings, showing how the scan patterns overlapped at specific points around Earth and throughout the solar system. They're both looking for something, he explained. Something that might be connected to Earth's physical location in space. These aren't military scans or cultural surveys. They're search patterns. The question is, Lisa added, what's so special about our corner of space that it brought two warring civilizations to our doorstep? Jack Thompson studied the data. We need to be careful. If both sides are hiding their true intentions, any alliance could be dangerous. Susan agreed. We should also consider why they're making their offers now. Humanity is advanced enough to be useful, but not so advanced that we could stand against either of them in open war. The timing isn't coincidental. As they discussed their options, Mary Bennett burst into the room. You need to see this. I've been analyzing those quantum frequencies both fleets are interested in. They're not just random signals. They form a pattern, like a grid or network. And Earth. We're sitting at what looks like a major intersection point. The room fell silent as the implications sank in. Earth's position in space might be far more important than anyone had realized. Both alien powers wanted something, and humanity had unknowingly been living on top of it for their entire existence. We need to know more, Susan decided. Before we align with either side, we need to understand exactly what we're sitting on. Kevin, work with Mary. Find out everything you can about these quantum signatures. Jack, we need to review every historical record we have. Any unexplained phenomena or energy readings that might be related to this. Lisa looked out the window at the alien ships still holding their positions, and we need to prepare for the possibility that neither side will take no for an answer. If Earth is as important as it seems, They might not give us a choice about joining this war. As the meeting ended, Susan Martinez stared at the diplomatic proposals from both sides. Tomorrow, she would meet with the aliens again, but this time, she would be watching for what they didn't say, looking for clues about what made Earth's position so special that it could turn a distant galactic war into a potential battle for humanity's own solar system. The attack came without warning. The collective research station near Saturn erupted in a brilliant flash of light as Drachnid weapons tore through its shields. Commander Lisa Wright watched the tactical display with growing horror as 3 Drachnid warships emerged from what looked like holes in space itself. "All stations, battle positions," she ordered. "Get me Admiral Stewart immediately." The response from Earth was quick. Admiral Peter Stewart's hologram appeared, his face grim. "We saw it, Commander. The Drachnids just forced our hand. Implement Defense Plan Delta." In the engineering section of Defense Station Alpha, Mary Bennett had been preparing for this moment. For the past week, she and her team had been working on something revolutionary. They had taken what they learned from studying both alien fleets and combined it with Earth's quantum computing technology. "The shield modifications are ready," Mary reported, "but we've never tested them in actual combat." Lissa looked at the tactical display showing more Drachnid ships appearing. "We're about to test them now. Enable the new shields across all stations." The new shield technology was unlike anything either alien race had seen before. Mary had discovered that Earth's quantum computers could interact with the same quantum network both alien races were so interested in. She had found a way to use this connection to strengthen their defensive systems. Kevin Phillips monitored the readings from his station. "Commander, the Drachnids are launching their main attack force. But something's strange. The collective ships are moving to attack positions too. They're not just defending their station." Lisa understood immediately. They're using this as an excuse to start a full battle. Both sides want control of Earth's space. The first wave of Drachnid weapons hit the shields around Defense Station Alpha. Everyone braced for impact, but Mary's modifications worked better than anyone had hoped. The shields didn't just block the attack. They absorbed the energy and grew stronger. "How is this possible?" the Drachnid commander demanded over an open channel. "Your technology is primitive." Mary couldn't help but smile as she explained to Lisa. "We're not just blocking their weapons. We're using Earth's position in the quantum network to redirect the energy. The more they attack, the stronger our defenses become." The battle expanded as collective ships engaged the Drachnids. The space around Saturn lit up with weapon fire and explosions, but the human stations and ships, protected by Mary's new shields, stood firm between the two alien forces. Ambassador Susan Martinez seized the moment. She broadcast a message to both fleets. "This is Earth Defense Command. We have demonstrated our ability to defend our space. Both sides will cease fire immediately, or we will be forced to show you our offensive capabilities as well." It wasn't an empty threat. Mary's team had also developed a way to turn their defensive technology into a weapon. If the aliens continued fighting, the human stations could release all the absorbed energy back at them. The Drachnid ships pulled back first, surprised by the humans' unexpected show of strength. The collective fleet followed, maintaining distance from both Earth forces and the Drachnids. In the council chamber on Earth, Jack Thompson addressed the emergency session. "We now know why both sides are really here. Earth sits at a crucial point in some kind of quantum network that spans the galaxy. Both the Drachnids and the collective want to control it." Admiral Stewart stood up. "Then we'll make sure neither of them gets it. Mary Bennett's breakthrough proves we can use this network ourselves. We don't need their help or their permission." The next few days were tense but productive. Mary worked with engineering teams across the solar system, upgrading their defenses with the new technology. The aliens watched, unable to interfere without risking a demonstration of Earth's new capabilities. Kevin discovered something else while analyzing the battle data. "Commander, look at this. When we activated our quantum shields, we affected both fleets' ability to communicate. We're not just sitting on an intersection in their network. We might be able to control access to it. Lisa brought this information to Admiral Stewart and the Council. This changes everything, she explained. We're not just defending ourselves anymore. We have something both sides need. The Council chambers buzzed with discussion. Some wanted to use this advantage to force both sides to leave human space entirely. Others saw an opportunity for a different approach. Susan Martinez offered a new perspective. We don't have to choose sides in their war. We can make them choose peace instead. If we control this quantum intersection, we can make it more valuable to them as a neutral zone than as a battlefield. The alien representatives requested new meetings. This time, they came not with demands or offers of alliance, but with real respect. Humanity had proved itself more capable than either side had expected. Mary continued to refine her quantum shield technology. She discovered that the principles could be applied to more than just defense. We could revolutionize space travel, communication, even energy production, she explained to Lisa. We just needed to understand how to use what was already here. As the sun set on Earth that evening, Lisa stood at her familiar spot by the station's viewing window. The alien ships were still there, but they kept their distance now. In just a few weeks, humanity had gone from being a primitive species caught in the crossfire to a power that could defend itself against advanced alien weapons. We still don't know everything about this quantum network, Kevin said, joining her at the window. But we know enough to protect ourselves while we learn more. Lisa nodded. And that's the real human factor in all this. We don't just adapt to new situations. We find ways to change the rules of the game entirely. The quantum shields hummed softly throughout the station, a constant reminder that humanity had earned its place among the stars, not by choosing sides in an alien war, but by finding its own path forward. The Galactic War would never be the same, because humans had shown there was another way to use power besides conquest. Science Officer Daniel Murphy stared at his computer screen, checking his calculations for the 5th time. He couldn't believe what he was seeing. The quantum network readings were showing something incredible. Commander Wright, he called out, his voice echoing across the command center. I found it. I know why Earth is so important to both sides. Lisa Wright hurried over to his station, followed by Kevin Phillips. The display showed a complex map of quantum energy flows throughout nearby space. Earth's solar system glowed like a bright star in the middle of the map. It's not just an intersection, Daniel explained. Our solar system sits on top of a quantum network hub. It's like, imagine the internet, but spread across the galaxy. We're sitting on one of its main servers. The discovery changed everything. Lisa immediately called an emergency meeting with the Human Council. Within an hour, the station's conference room was filled with holographic projections of Earth's leaders. Admiral Stewart spoke first. Can you explain this in simple terms, Officer Murphy? Daniel stood up, trying to keep his excitement under control. The quantum network is how advanced species travel and communicate across the galaxy. Our solar system contains a hub that can control access to about 1/4 of the entire network. That's why the Drachnids and Collective are really fighting over Earth. In the engineering section, Mary Bennett was already thinking about the possibilities. This explains why our quantum shields worked so well. We weren't just building better defenses. We were tapping into a galactic infrastructure that's been here all along. Council strategist Linda Harrison had been quiet until now. She was known for thinking several steps ahead of everyone else. This gives us an opportunity, she said. Instead of picking a side in their war, we can force both sides to listen to us. Before they could discuss further, alarms blared throughout the station. The Drachnid fleet was moving, and this time they had brought reinforcements. 6 new Drachnid warships just appeared, Kevin reported. They're bigger than anything we've seen before. Lisa took command of the situation. Enable quantum shields across all stations and colonies. Mary, is the new defense grid ready? Yes, Commander. All stations are linked through the quantum network. We can share shield power between locations now. The Drachnid attack was massive. Their ships fired weapons that could have destroyed Earth's entire fleet just a few weeks ago. But now, with their understanding of the quantum network, humanity was ready. Captain Andrew Cole led the human fleet's response. His ships moved in perfect formation, using the quantum network to coordinate their actions faster than any traditional communication system could allow. "Remember your training," he told his pilots. "Use the network like Mary taught us. Let their attacks make us stronger." The battle that followed would be remembered for generations. The Drachnid ships fired their most powerful weapons, but the human fleet's quantum shields absorbed every attack. Thanks to Mary's innovations, each blast only made their defenses stronger. The collective fleet arrived next, expecting to find the humans weakened by the Drachnid assault. Instead, they found Earth's forces standing strong, protecting their space with technology that matched or exceeded their own. Linda Harrison saw the opportunity they had been waiting for. "Now is the time," she told the council. "We can show them that we're not just another piece in their game." Ambassador Martinez sent a message to both fleets. "Attention Drachnid and collective forces. We control the quantum hub in this sector. If you continue fighting, we will shut down all quantum network access in this region of space. Neither side will be able to use it for travel or communication." The threat worked. Both alien fleets stopped their attack. They knew that losing access to the quantum network would cripple their ability to fight not just here, but across a quarter of the galaxy. In the conference room, Daniel showed the council more of his discoveries. "The network hub has been here since before humans evolved. Both sides probably thought we'd never figure out how to use it. But thanks to Mary's work with quantum shields, we not only figured it out, we might understand it better than they do." Linda Harrison presented her plan to the council. "We don't need to join their war. We can make ourselves too valuable for them to fight against. Earth won't be a battlefield anymore. We'll be the mediators who control access to the network." Admiral Stewart agreed. "We'll offer both sides continued access to the network, but with conditions. No more fighting in our space. No more threats against Earth or our colonies. And they both have to come to the negotiating table." The Drachnid commander requested communication. His voice was different now, less demanding, more respectful. "Your species has surprised us, Commander Wright. Perhaps there is wisdom in discussing terms." The collective quickly followed with their own message, also ready to negotiate. Lisa looked around the command center at her crew. Kevin Phillips was monitoring the alien fleets, making sure they kept their distance. Mary Bennett was already working on new ways to use the quantum network. Daniel Murphy was mapping more of the network's connections, while Linda Harrison prepared for the negotiations ahead. "Send word to the council," Lisa ordered. "Tell them to prepare for peace talks, but keep our defenses ready, just in case anyone needs a reminder of why they're choosing to negotiate." As the sun set on another Earth Day, humanity had done more than just survive an alien war. They had changed it. The quantum hub had always been there, waiting to be discovered. But it took human innovation, courage, and determination to turn it from a target into a tool for peace. The war that had raged for centuries was about to change, because humanity had shown both sides a better way forward. As Kevin said to Lisa later that evening, "Sometimes the best way to win a war is to make it pointless to keep fighting." The Great Hall of Defense Station Alpha had been transformed. Where once there were tactical displays and military equipment, now stood a massive circular table. Ambassador Susan Martinez looked around the room with pride. In just 3 months, humanity had gone from discovering alien life to hosting the first three-way peace talks in this part of the galaxy. Supreme Negotiator Krelves of the Drachnid Empire sat to her left, his scaled skin catching the light. Peace Speaker Lyra of the Collective took her place on the right, her silvery skin showing swirls of cautious blue and green colors. Admiral Peter Stewart and the rest of the human delegation completed the circle. "Welcome to Earth's neutral space," Susan began. "We're here to discuss peace, but first, let's be honest about why we're fighting." On the main screen, Daniel Murphy displayed his complete mapping of the quantum network hub. Our solar system controls access to 28% of the known galaxy's quantum pathways. Both of your civilizations need these pathways for travel, communication, and trade. Kevin Phillips added new information to the display. We've learned that this war has been going on for over 300 years. Both sides have lost millions of lives, destroyed countless worlds, and yet neither can win without controlling this hub. The alien representatives shifted uncomfortably. They weren't used to younger species understanding so much about galactic politics. Linda Harrison, the council strategist, stepped forward with the human proposal. Earth will establish a neutral zone around the quantum hub. All species will have equal access to the network, monitored by human controllers. No weapons will be allowed within this zone. Impossible, Kralvis growled. The Empire cannot allow others to control our access to the quantum network. You already have, Mary Bennett spoke up. She pressed a button, and the lights in the room dimmed slightly. That was me adjusting the quantum flow to this sector. We don't just understand the network, we can control it better than either of your species. To demonstrate her point, Mary activated a small device on the table. A miniature version of the quantum shield appeared, more stable and efficient than anything the aliens had seen before. Humans have achieved in months what our scientists couldn't do in centuries, Lyra admitted, her skin showing patterns of surprised yellow. Commander Lisa Wright entered the room with new reports. We've already begun establishing the neutral zone defense grid. Our quantum shields can now protect an area 3 times larger than our solar system. The aliens watched as she showed them the defense plans. Human ships would patrol the neutral zone, using their unique understanding of quantum technology to maintain peace. Any act of aggression would result in immediate loss of network access. You're asking us to end a war that has defined our civilizations for generations, Kralvis said. Admiral Stewart stood up. We're offering you a way to end it honorably. Both sides get what they need. Safe access to the quantum network. No one has to lose face. Linda Harrison revealed the next part of the plan. We're also offering to share some of our quantum shield technology with both sides, not as weapons, but as tools for protection and exploration. This caught both aliens' attention. Humanity's quantum innovations had proven superior in many ways to their own technology. The offer of sharing this knowledge was valuable. But Susan Martinez added firmly, this knowledge will only be shared if both sides agree to the peace terms, and any violation of the neutral zone will result in immediate loss of both network access and technology sharing. As the negotiations continued, Kevin noticed something interesting on his monitors. Ships from both alien fleets were already beginning to use the quantum network in new ways, copying some of human innovations they had observed. They're learning from us, he whispered to Lisa, just like we learned from them. Mary Bennett had more surprises to share. The quantum network isn't just for travel and communication. Our research shows it can be used for clean energy production, faster than light computing, and even terraforming technology. We're willing to work with both your peoples to explore these possibilities. The aliens were shocked. They had been using the quantum network for centuries, but had never discovered these applications. Human creativity and fresh perspectives had found new possibilities in old technology. As the day went on, the terms of peace took shape. The neutral zone would extend through key parts of the quantum network. Human ships would patrol these areas, maintaining peace and ensuring fair access. Both the Drachnid Empire and the Collective would maintain their territories outside the zone, but would work together with humans on scientific research and exploration. There's one more thing, Susan Martinez said near the end of the talks. We want to establish a permanent galactic council with representatives from all 3 of our peoples. No one species should control the future of our galaxy. To everyone's surprise, both alien representatives agreed. They had seen enough of human innovation and determination to know that a new age had begun. Later that evening, as the alien ships prepared to leave Earth's space peacefully for the first time, Lisa stood with her crew in the command center. Do you think it will last? Kevin asked. watching the ships depart. "It will if we make it last," Linda Harrison answered. "We've given them something better than victory. We've given them a reason to choose peace." Admiral Stewart joined them, looking out at the stars. "Humanity has earned its place in the galaxy, not through conquest or submission, but by finding a better way forward." Mary Bennett was already working on new projects. "Think of what we can achieve now," she said excitedly. "With peace secured, we can focus on exploration and discovery. The quantum network has so many secrets we haven't uncovered yet." As night fell on Earth, humans across the solar system celebrated. Their world had faced the greatest challenge in its history and had emerged not just intact, but as a respected power in the galaxy. They had proved that sometimes the best way to win a war was to transform it into something else entirely. The Galactic Space War would never be the same, because humanity had shown that there was always another way, a path that led not to victory over others, but to progress for all. As Susan Martinez wrote in her final report to the Council, "We didn't just change the rules of their war. We changed the way they saw the galaxy itself, and in doing so, we changed our own destiny among the stars."